Another day, another try to destroy the LIV Golf. The ongoing controversy have proven that the PGA is not the one to give up. The tour is probably the one that's been harmed the most by the Saudi-backed golf venture, and it's only natural for them to keep trying until they make it. Trust me, you won't know what it's like to be PGA unless someone lures away your best people by showing them some yummy candy. In this video, we'll tell you what the PGA and Rory McIlroy are cooking up to make the LIV rebels regret their choices. So let's get started. The PGA Tour has said that if the game is about money, let us play it on equal terms too. The Golf Tour has decided to boost the prize money after facing the challenge from LIV Golf and losing some of the best players to this money machine. PGA has finally decided to play the way Saudis want it to be. Apparently, the tour has increased the budget for the 2022-2023 season, and now they are offering a record prize of $415 million. According to the reports, the Players' Championship will pay $25 million. That's not all. They'll also be offering $145 million as bonus money. You must be wondering, what about the rest of the money? Well, $75 million will be paid for the FedEx Cup playoffs, which will be reduced to 70 players from the current 125. Looking at this critically, we can see the intentions behind this sudden change in the budget. It seems like the PGA Tour has made this move to compete against LIV Golf, offering some of the fattest purses in golf history. While the intentions PGA has are different from LIV Golf, the ulterior motive for both the golf ventures is to lure big-name talent, and we believe PGA has its reasons. It won't be fair if we take sides with LIV Golf in this matter, because the way this Saudi-backed venture has acquired all the golfers that are playing for it now is just pathetic. Not only did they disturb a whole thing that was working just fine, but they also drew protests and got labeled as the ones trying to succeed in sports washing. Also, more and more people have been talking about the human rights violations going on in the country, and the Saudi government seems less concerned. I wonder if it wasn't intended or the backwash wasn't what they expected. Despite all these problematic actions and controversies, LIV Golf somehow managed to take hold of some of the big names, such as Henrik Stenson, Phil Mickelson, and Dustin Johnson, are a few to name. And this triggered the PGA fans and sparked a rivalry with the already famous golf tour. In fact, all this transpired so quickly that we had to believe the LIV Golf was only organized to make the PGA fail somehow because, come to think of it, why would all the actions be directed at the one golf tour only? In short, there are tons of valid reasons for the PGA to take down all the rebels, even if that means them boosting purses and tightening the playoffs. Hang on, that's not all. Jay Monahan had something to say about it too. Sometimes I wonder if Monahan has been able to sleep peacefully ever since this LIV thing entered the world of golf as a nightmare. But now, after taking adequate actions, I feel he'd sleep like a baby at night knowing that he's done enough to make the rebels at least think twice about what they've done. Jay Monahan revealed that fans had shared their overwhelming sentiments as they wanted more consequences to be there. The fans are the ones who wished for the top players to compete head-to-head, so the steps we've taken are to satisfy the PGA fans. Monahan believes that the tour has now accomplished all its set objectives. The PGA Tour has also revealed some crucial details about the 2022-2023 PGA season. The purses have increased, so you must also want to know what this new season has in store for us. Well, as per the reports, the next PGA season is set to have a total of 47 tournaments, along with 3 playoffs. These playoffs will happen in August of 2023, with a field of 50 at the BMW in Chicago and 70 at the St. Jude Championships in Memphis. At the same time, the top 30 points will advance to the season-ending Tour Championship, set to be played at Eastlake in Atlanta. Once the season ends, the players outside the top 20 will appear in different events and earn status for the next PGA campaign and the series of international events featuring the top 50 in a limited field format. For now, that's all the details the PGA has shared, but we're hoping they will share some more soon, possibly right before the new PGA season begins. Stay tuned, as we'll reveal shortly what Rory McIlroy has in store for LIV. And here's how the prize money is being doubled. Let's start with St. Jude and BMW Championships. They had prize money of $15 million each, but now it's been raised to $20 million, which is quite a big jump if you may ask. The January tournament will also have a boosted prize money. Apparently, the purse has increased to $15 million from $8.2 million. This is once again a massive increase in such a short time. Not just that, reports have it that the January tournament will become the leadoff of the PGA in 2024 because of schedule changes. Apart from that, 4 of the PGA events, including the WGC Match Play, Genesis Invitational, Arnold Palmer Invitational, and Jack Nicklaus hosted Memorial, will also see a jump in prize money. Meanwhile, the purse will rise from $12 million to $20 million. And if you talk about the Players' Championship, the purse will be increased from $20 to $25 million. In total, this all makes a massive addition of $53.8 million across all 8 events. And now, for the very first time, at least for me, I've heard from a player about their specific strategy that the PGA Tour will use to go head-to-head with LIV Golf. And that came from Rory McIlroy at the BMW Championship in a recent press conference at Wilmington Country Club. When asked about the outcome of the meeting with executives of the PGA Tour and the players, Rory said, "I think the one thing that came out of it, which I think was the purpose, is all the top players on this tour are in agreement and alignment of where we should go going forward." And that was awesome. Rory wasn't forthcoming on the intricate details, and all he could say was, "I don't think that's for a public forum right now. I think that's between the players and between the executives of the tour to try to sort of manage a way forward." Rory's kind of getting a chuckle out of that softball question from the media. Most tour players arrive on the course on a Monday to prep for the week ahead. Rory arrived in the area on Friday night after missing the cut the previous week on a course on Saturday, so he hasn't seen the course a lot, so he's kind of getting a chuckle out of himself. Stay tuned, because Rory later revealed a specific tangible thing that the PGA Tour will do to destroy LIV Golf. The interviewer then double-clicked a little further to get more out of Rory, and he dropped the bombshell just then. The pro golfer revealed that the tour needs to get the big shots more often. Maybe, just maybe, this may do the magic. We need to get the top guys together more often than we do, all in the same tournaments, all in the same week. The one word that I took away from Rory's point is familiarity. I think about when I'm most captivated and compelled to watch a PGA Tour event, and it's really when I'm familiar with the course, the players, or the format. So you think about a Ryder Cup or a President's Cup and how familiar you are with the event type. You think about Augusta National, home of the Masters, each and every year. When you think about players that you're familiar with, oftentimes maybe packed up on the leaderboard and a FedEx Cup event, if you will, and so I think about familiarity there. Now, the Saudi-backed LIV Golf has several differentiators, admittedly, be it a 54-hole event, the team aspect of things, and be it a shotgun start, whatever it might be. It's entirely different in the PGA Tour. And I think about watching a PGA Tour event, a couple of run-in-the-mill, a Thursday round event, and I'm compelled to watch that. I think Rory identifies here. The competitive advantage that the PGA Tour has with the biggest critical mass of top golfers in the world, and suppose you can get them all together simultaneously. In that case, that will certainly create that familiarity and the compelling interest to watch and create the momentum you think the PGA Tour needs to sustain and compete against LIV Golf. This is definitely the first time a player has said something very specific about the PGA Tour's strategy to compete with and destroy LIV Golf. From the looks of things, it's not only the PGA Tour that's progressing and trying to keep the players on its side. The LIV Golf is working even harder and making efforts to expand its season. When LIV Golf first entered the world of golf, everyone underestimated it, saying it wouldn't last long. But surprisingly, it did, and it doesn't seem to be leaving anytime soon. Why? Well, you may ask. The Saudi-backed Golf Invitational has already rolled out plans for its next season, and I must admit, they've got some really big plans. The league will see a lot of events in 2023, including a name change. The LIV Golf Invitational will transition to the LIV Golf League in the coming year. Also, the schedule for the upcoming 14 events has also been set. The Saudi-backed venture is probably all set to go about the next season with its 48 contracted players, who will make 12 teams. Each team will consist of 4 golfers and will be set before the season begins. There's also news that PIAF will be providing LIV with an extra $250 million, which will allow them to offer purchases of $25 million for the first 7 events. And lastly, the series finale will have a purse of $50 million. And just so you know, the individual winner will receive a whopping $4 million paycheck. And with this, it's time for us to wrap this video up. What do you think about this whole situation? Will the PGA be able to destroy the LIV like it's done to previous rivals? Let us know in the comments below. Have a nice day and see you in the next one.